Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Pipe Bomb Sessions. This week, we covering a lot of things. Obviously, we got the two big PLEs, as well as the return of the Women's Evolution PLE, which is happening after quite some time, man. But I will say, even though in my personal opinion, the build-up could have been a little bit better for it, hey, we still got matches on there. We got some vets on there. We also probably are going to see who's going to be the next challenger going to clash at Paris for the women's title because they got a battle royal going on. But before we get into that, before that comes on Sunday, we got Saturday night's main event. That's where we're seeing a couple of matches headlined by the return of Goldberg versus the champ Gunther. Honestly, man, I have so much to say about this just because it doesn't make sense to me. That's why I do think an upset is very, very much possible here. I don't know, man. A lot of people have told me otherwise, but I do think an upset is indeed possible. We could also see an extra match being added on SmackDown. As, you know, there's only 3 matches on the card. I feel like we're either going to maybe get, I don't know, like a segment promo situation or just some other match added on. But let's see what happens on SmackDown this Friday night. What did happen last night on Raw was, obviously Rollins is hyping up his group. They come out. Paul Heyman name-dropped Roman Reigns and told him he didn't have the balls to face the group. I mean, spoiler alert, I'll see you this weekend, OTC. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, definitely we can see the OTC coming through, and we can definitely see him interrupting either Rollins in his match against LA Knight, or if Rollins does decide to possibly do a cash-in by the end of the night, you never know. Maybe we see him stop Rollins and screw him out of that later on. I'm not sure which timing it's going to be, but I am sure that Roman Reigns is returning. There's a reason why Paul Heyman name-dropped him, right? So, boom. A couple of matches that were set up was Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed against Mr. Yeet, Jey Uso. What happened? Now, I'll start with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed basically gave Jey Uso a couple of tsunamis, got DQ'd after he threw a chair at him. So, you know, he was out there to hurt him. Because of what happened earlier was Braun Breaker said that he was going to hurt Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn got not only hurt, but he got attacked again by Cross as Zayn was making his way out. Now, because of the attack, because of Braun Breaker freaking giving Zayn like 3 spears, dude, Zayn's out. He's out indefinitely. We'll see him probably later on. This guy, Sami Zayn, needs a little bit of a break and heal up. Mr. Zayn, chill, go on a nice vacation, my man. Shoot, he's been taking a beating for quite some time now, let me tell you. So I expect him to get some revenge when he does make his return. Jey Uso got taken out. See, in my opinion now, like, who's really going to stop Rollins' group? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, who's it gonna be? Since now the 2 people we kept seeing come out was, you know, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso. Both of them have been taken out. So that leaves Penta, who was beaten by Rollins in a very, very good match. Oh my god. Talk about having chemistry in the ring, guys. My goodness. I thought personally that was great. Like, it was a good matchup. I saw nothing wrong with it. But of course, Penta was not going to win that matchup. He ended up losing. And from there, pretty much what happened was he got taken out. You know, he got beat up. Obviously, LA Knight that comes through the crowd and drops Rollins. And Boom, he gives the BFT, runs through the crowd. LA Knight standing tall. Hopefully, LA Knight can still end up winning against Rollins this weekend, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I also do think LA Knight may lose. Maybe he gets beat up, and boom, Roman Reigns' music hits, and that's how he comes out, goes for the save type of situation. Maybe that's the way that works. Now, before I go into what I think is going to happen this weekend between both PLEs, a team got back together and they were at it on the women's side for the Evolution Tag Team match. That's from the Raw side, the Kabuki Warriors. Yep, Kairi Sane was getting jumped, and who came for the save? Asuka. And because of that, we see them tag team back together, and boom, they got added from the Raw side to the tag team tournament. I think they also have a good chance of winning. Now, that's pretty much how Raw wrapped up. In my opinion, the Raw was alright. I don't think anything crazy happened. They built up a little bit more of Saturday night's main event going on. The Evolution was more what they built up. I kind of like that. And looking forward to seeing what happens. Now, let's start with this Saturday, right from Atlanta, Saturday night's main event. Let me start with a matchup that kind of got put together literally after he made his return this past Friday night. That's Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. McIntyre came out there, and he was really just trying to get under the skin of Orton and Cody, trying to have them kind of, become enemies instead of friends. Didn't really work. Got dropped for an RKO. Later on, match got official. I think it's going to be a good matchup. We haven't seen McIntyre since, Saturday night's main event, when he was facing Priest, actually, in a steel cage match. So, in my opinion, I think Drew does take this match back. I know the face the first time. I guess he takes this win. I think this is going to lead to Orton getting pissed and possibly what he's going to be doing for SummerSlam. I still do think, as I made a prediction very many episodes ago, that Orton is going to face Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. I'm going to still stay true to that prediction and say that, yes, he is going to face him at SummerSlam. I can see it happening, and, honestly, why not? I don't see that being a bad matchup at all, TBH, but hey, let's see what route they want to go. Regardless, Drew McIntyre takes the W. Next matchup, that's Seth freaking Rollins and my boy LA Knight. Yeah. Now, as much as I would like LA Knight to win this, I just don't know if he's going to be taking this W. In my opinion, if he takes this win, I do see Rollins returning later in the night for the world title matchup. If Rollins wins, I still see him returning, but Rollins wins, I see him and his group attack LA Knight. LA Knight's been avoiding him. Attack him, jump him, try to take him out. That's when Roman Reigns makes his return and basically gets his standoff and face-off against Rollins and his group. It makes so much sense to me. Now, if LA Knight wins, Rollins, looks a little defeated. Possibly later in the night, we see, whatever the result is, we see Rollins try to cash in. That's where Roman Reigns returns. I can see them taking either route on this one. And honestly, you know what? I'm going to go with my boy. I'm going to go with LA Knight winning this. The reason being is him winning is going to set up my other prediction that I'm about to make, which is a bold, bold prediction, ladies and gentlemen. And that's for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther, the champ, versus the challenger, the vet, the man himself, Goldberg. I don't know, guys. I really do think, and you really never know, maybe Goldberg does become champ. And I say that because if Goldberg wins, then Rollins can come immediately out, cash in, and bang. Roman Reigns can, return to spoil the cash in. Or, in my opinion, maybe Rollins gets the cash in through, and that's when Roman returns. Once people think that, oh, this was it for the night, we ain't got nothing else going on, bang, that's when the OTC's music hits. We also are not really sure, is he returning alone? That's what I'm curious about, guys. Is Roman Reigns coming back alone? I think that's a very, very interesting thing. I do think Goldberg wins against Gunther because, I don't know, man. Like, if Goldberg would have hit that spear on Raw, I would have been convinced Gunther is definitely retaining. And right now, I'm just not convinced about that definitely. That's what, honestly, is kind of like making me lean towards Goldberg's side, I'll be honest. But hey, that's what I think happened to Saturday night's main event. Pending any other matches being added after SmackDown, I'm not so sure what other match they could add. Maybe the Wyatt Six against freaking the Profits for the tag titles again. I could see them maybe possibly running that back. Why not? I feel like the Wyatt Six is only a matter of time before they get the titles. And the SmackDown tag team titles haven't been on a major freaking PLE or event in who knows how long. I'm cool with them getting added on it. Why not? Screw it. I think the fans and everybody else will be pretty excited for it too. Now, the next night on Sunday, we have the All Women's Evolution PLE, which actually has quite a bit matches. We did see both the women's and the WWE women's and the women's world, Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton, both choose their opponents, which is a little different. Okay, that was interesting. We also have the NXT women's title that's going to be on the line. Jordynne Grace versus JC Jane. I think a lot of things can happen here. Maybe Jordynne Grace does end up winning the title. I'm not following NXT as heavily as I do Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs. I apologize for that, but personally, I mean, I know Jordynne Grace just because of her big name, TNA a little bit, and I think she can win the title. Make maybe, I don't know, your newest acquisition, Blake Monroe, turn heel on her. Why not? I think that would be a cool twist to put in there, and I can't be against it. That'd be pretty dope. Moving on to a matchup with someone that was a tag team partner not too long ago. I believe it was at Backlash. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was for the WWE Women's Champ, Tiffany Stratton, who's going to be facing against Trish Stratus. Now, Trish, she's a Hall of Famer. She a legend, right? But she ain't winning this matchup because they're not going to have Trish going to SummerSlam against Jade. At least I don't see it at all. So I'm going to go with Tiffy winning this, my girl Tiffy, and she's going to be going into SummerSlam as the champion and going to be facing the number one contender in Jade Cargill. That's so a pretty easy, I think, prediction for this one. Now, the next matchup, this is where I think things are getting a little confusing. First, you give Io the title on a random Raw very close to WrestleMania. Crowd is hyped, fans are hyped, you guys are hyped, obviously, because you gave her the title, right? Then, you have her retain the title in a great triple threat matchup at Mania. Have her do a couple matches for a couple weeks after, and then we haven't seen Io Sky. Where's the women's world champ been at? I don't understand this. And I have a bad feeling. Like, I really do have a bad feeling that, I mean, it only makes sense, right, guys? Think about it. What, uh, what's going to happen here, realistically? She's now facing Rhea, and she, unfortunately, there's a good chance she loses that title to Rhea. Now, I don't think this is her fault. She just hasn't been booked. There's nothing been going on with Io Sky for quite some time now. And why is that? Like, I don't really understand that part. Why are we not using our champion? Like, hello, what's going on here? So, whatever, I guess. Let's just see how it goes. I'm hoping Io wins. I had high confidence that she was going to retain her title, and Rhea technically hasn't beaten her, and she has said that, which gets me a little bit more nervous. But I do think that she is, or had, a chance to retain, because it was going to be her versus Asuka then. Now, Asuka's teamed up with Kairi Sane again, so I don't think that Io's going to be champion. Rhea's going to take the title, unfortunately, in my opinion, just because I want to see Rhea do other things. I like Rhea. I'm not hating on her or against her. I just think that she can really, like, develop in other feuds too. Like, she doesn't need the title to be over. Same with Io, but Io really hasn't been used. So I think that's unfair in that sense. My final prediction, I'm going to go with Rhea actually becoming new champ in this one, guys. I'm a big Io Sky fan, but I do think Rhea takes it here. Now, let me switch gears. Let's go to the women's tag title match. That's the Fatal 4-Way match where Roxanne, who's now filling in for injured Liv, and Raquel, the champions, were going to face a team from SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. Now, we knew the SmackDown NXT team. SmackDown was coming in hot, I think, with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I've been calling it for weeks, guys. Finally, they got these two women together. I've been waiting. I knew Charlotte was going to come around finally, and she did. I'm super excited. I think they're actually the favorites to walk out of this match as the champs. From NXT, we got Sol Ruka and Zarya. See, I like Sol Ruka a lot. I think they got added into this match because of obviously being a very popular NXT team. I don't think they get, the titles, but I do see them having a very, very good showing. Would not be surprised by that. And then we got the return of the tag team, the Kabuki Warriors, who are representing Raw, Kairi Sane and Asuka, who I think are very close, neck and neck, with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss on taking those titles. I really don't think Raquel and Roxanne are gonna walk out of there with the titles, guys. I think it's actually a losing scenario for them. I do think Flair and Bliss are gonna be the new champs, though. I will say that. Let's hope this curse of the women's tag titles does not come onto them, as, this is a new team. This is a fresh team. I like it. They're switching it up a little bit. I don't mind it at all. Now, another matchup that got added, actually, recently was Naomi and Jade. A no-holds-barred matchup. At first, I was thinking, actually, Naomi would take this because, they're trying to make it 1-1. But I'm now thinking, right? Jade makes more sense. Reasoning. Jade beats Naomi not once, but twice. Overconfidence. Now she's looking forward to Tiffany at SummerSlam. Naomi comes out, tries talking her shit on SmackDown for the following weeks. Jade brushes it off, says, hey, I already beat the hell out of you twice. You are just not in the same level as me, whatever, this and that, right? She's getting hyped. Now, we come SummerSlam. Jade, who in my opinion is going to become champion, but she's going to become champ only to be cashed in by Naomi. I think this is a good way. Maybe she brushed her off, doesn't see it coming, because she beat her already twice. My opinion, that's the move to make, and I can see that happening for sure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the final two matches, the second to last match that I think is going to be big is the Battle Royal. Now, the Battle Royal is going to be consist of multiple different women. I don't think we got a number of how many participants are going to be in it. However, what we do know is that the winner gets a championship match at Clash in Paris. So that's interesting. Because I don't know everybody in it, I'm just going to go based off of who I have heard and seen be in it. I'm going to go with Stephanie Vaquer to actually take this. I think, this is her opportunity to kind of have a good showing. She's going to get quite a few eliminations, and she'll end up winning. She'll go to Clash in Paris, and I can see her also winning the championship. Maybe this is the setup. Goes back to my point of Rhea winning. Maybe Rhea wins, keeps her title at SummerSlam, building up just for Stephanie to take the title off her. I can see that. Hey, they can run that with Io Sky as well, but hey, maybe Rhea's the way they want to do it right now. I can see it happening, and it makes sense to me. Now, what I think should be, and even could be, the main event of the Evolution PLE, the triple threat match for the WWE Women's IC Championship. Becky Lynch, the champ, versus Lyra versus Bayley. This feud has been hot since Mania. Now, Bayley recently got added, but we were waiting for her to get added. Lyra and Becky have been going at it since Mania. And we see the rift that's officially been torn apart in there now with Bayley and Lyra as well. Maybe we're seeing seeds of a Bayley heel turn. Maybe she's going to be like a tweener type of person. We don't know, right? But I like it. Feud's been hot. Feud's been hot for a hot minute, and it's been going on for a while. Also, I feel like the story that backs this matchup has been the best out of all the other different matchups so far on this card. WWE, make it official. Make this the main event. The fans want it. I want it. Everybody wants it. Even you guys want it. You guys know it too. I'm saying, guys, I think that's going to be potentially, and it should be, the match of the night, possibly, and the main event. Hey, man, I think everybody's going to be excited for it. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much my predictions of Saturday night's main event and the Women's WWE Evolution PLE. Yes, you heard some bold things that were said. Yes, I do think that we get a few new champs, guys. Like, hey, SummerSlam is going to be built going forward from there. And, hey, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in this week. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe.